All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this is episode 8. Whoops, sorry about that. I start off hitting the cord really early. Sorry about that. Whew. Yikes. All right, let's do that again. Hello, everyone. This is Ismortah, and this is episode 18, coming at you hot, as it looks like, of my custom campaign using my Ismortah religion of Kingdom, Death, Monster, and technically this is the 1.5 edition. And this stream, I'll be doing just a showdown against the Screaming Antelope. This will be my first time fighting the Screaming Antelope, and it's a level 1 Antelope. And I'll show you a bunch of the cards unique to this guide that I'm aware of as far as starting out, and show you the book page again also. All right. That was some definite trippage. All right. And now it looks like it sounds good as long as I don't trip. I think we're good. All right, so this is just a showdown of the Screaming Antelope. Everything's already set up because, as you know, I set up the showdown as part of my hunt stream, preparing for the strategy. I have changed this a little bit because I noticed a couple things I had incorrect. One is I had this board pushed up, so I thought the edge of the board was here, so the actual survivors started a little bit back. I changed the positioning of these guys a little bit because then I had to also reposition the columns because they have to be 6 spaces away from all terrain, including the plants, so they had to be farther away from the circle of plants. And then I put the ore deposit here in the corner. As well as, which again I should have done it in the last stream, everyone, when they arrived, also gets a +1 strength token because of Red Fist. That gives them a slight strength to wounding, as well as they could spend any strength tokens in place of survival also, which is cool. Okay, and we're already shuffled. So we are good to go. I'm going to put my resources so they're reachable over here, and we are good to go. Hopefully we do some Boston Carver during this fight. Hopefully you live through the fight. Alright, so let me show you some of the pretties. So first of all, I'll show you this enclosed. This is the miniature of the Screaming Antelope. It's pretty cool. It's the miniature that's standing on its hind legs. And then also, you got the mouth at the bottom. It's basically its whole underbelly is the mouth. Okay. And then he looks like for his basic action always goes after people that are on the ground so he can trample, which is not nice. See if this focuses. There we go. And he basically has the same stats, level 1, as a Screaming Lion. He's got 10 cards, toughness 8. But he does also start with trample, so whenever he knocks anybody back, you also take damage. So he's got 7 B AI cards and 3 A level AI cards. So it's the same thing. He's got a deck of 10 of these and 11 hit points to kill. All right, I think we're good to go. So this is not an ambush, so the monster does go first. But I think we're good to go. And the monster controllers, the first one's going to be Elcor. Since I have him in the corner, and he's the only person in line of sight, he's most likely going to be the first target. get those free insanity points that he needs so much. Alrighty. And then I have here also, because I have two people with complete sets, this says what the White Lion armor does, and this one's saying what the Rawhide armor does. Because they also have special abilities associated. But that is a good point, though, is since this person will always have the complete set, I could go ahead and incorporate that into these stats. Because the pounce is a conditional trigger, but this is a constant. So by default, she also gets +1 speed and +2 strength. So speed is a 6. And strength, wait, unless I already incorporated it. Wait, why is the math wrong? Yeah, let me just redo all the math on Snehaven real quick because it doesn't make any sense. So luck, yeah, because I switched out stuff, looks like. So let's take another look at this. So with the Qatar, you get +1 luck. So the Qatar by default is 2730, but it gets +1 because it's deadly. So that's why the luck is 4 because she has 3 luck. Sure. The speed is 2 by default, but then instead of 2 it's 4, and then +1 speed from the White Lion is 5. Okay. And then the strength should be 3 + 2, so that should be 5. And then the accuracy is 7+. So I don't see any bonus accuracy, so that's still 7. It should be 7 accuracy, speed 5, because you're using both, plus the set bonus, it's 5. And then strength, that you get +2, and it's 3, so it's a 5. Now temporarily it's +1 from this, but just like the core gear, it should be 5 strength, 5 speed, and then 7 accuracy. Okay, good. Alright. Cool, so let's do it. I think we're good to go. Let me get a swig of coffee. Actually, and I'll show you before we start the starting thing for the White Lion Showdown, since in case you're just watching Showdown, so I can share with you. Again, here's the picture of the Screaming Antelope. And then here's the stuff for the Showdown. And so it says here is, there was once a fearsome monster that was trained by the hand to be a steed for the goblin. However, upon smelling its new master, the monster's mind shattered and it ran into the unknown, foaming at the mouth and biting the noses off the stone-faced floor. There you go. All right. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, so the monster goes first. Monster could draw an AI card, which we're going to start off strong with an A. Alrighty. Stomp. Pick target, the closest knockdown survivor. There are no knockdown survivors. The farthest threat in field of view that's in range. So this is the farthest. This is the only farthest threat that I can see in field of view, but it's not in range. So because it's not in range movement-wise to reach, it's just going to sit there, no target, graze. And what graze does is the monster full moves to the closest acanthus plant and ends its turn. And then heals 1 wound if it had any damage. So it goes full move straight to here. This goes away. Better just take it completely off the board. Do not confuse. And then it would heal one wound, but there's nothing to heal. So it got a little closer to us, but we're still safe. And that's its action. Fortunately, it burned an A card when we were out of range. So that was very fortunate. Okay, so that's our turn. And so, again, I'm going to use the blue tokens to mark whenever someone actually wounds with their weapon, as far as tracking proficiency. I use the white ones to denote that I've already spent a one-time use thing during the round or showdown on people. I'm using these tokens to denote if someone's knocked down, and then I'm using these double-sided to show if someone's taken their turn. That's because a lot of stuff to track. This makes it easier on me. Okay, so not what I had planned. I thought the monster would come straight at me from here, so I'm not at the position that I necessarily want to be at. Right now, I would say definitely these two people out of line of sight. These two I don't necessarily know. But if I do the whole strategy that what Imperial Assault does of corner to corner line of sight, you would argue these two are in field of view, but these two are not. So I'll rule that way. All right, so he's a little too far away, but I can definitely breach distance, and I want to have the people that can take the hits in the front also. So what I could do is I could loot this now, but I also don't want to be a liability and be out of range, so I might have to double back and get this later. Same with this. You know, keep the fight over here, and then double back to get these later. Plus, I want to keep the monster also away from these Acanthus, if possible. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, this monster probably runs, and probably has definitely more speed than we do. So, did that say full move towards the closest? Let me check something. Well, to the closest and stops. Anyway, yeah, so it ate plants. Okay, so now it's us. So actually, the spear person can actually get close enough to hit. Actually. Because it's range 1. And technically, she probably could too. If I dash to here, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, they could both hit if she spent a dash and he just moves. They could do that, actually. So she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If she spends a dash, she could be in range to attack also. Everyone could spend one dash and just do that. Score some hits early. It's possible. The thing about Snahavium is she, because of this order, is honorable, so cannot attack from behind. So she could dash and attack from here, because behind would be like the blind spot. They could both attack from the front. This guy would still be too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if he pounced, they'd only go 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's too far away. But he can at least get up to here and get in range. So maybe I'll... Let's see here. I will move him first. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you could argue I could move and then dash again and then attack, but it's a cumbersome weapon, so I can't do that because you have to spend a dash and an action to use it. So that's his turn. Now we'll do her. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll dash and move here. Okay. So we spent 1 dash with Snahavium. So survival goes to 4. And then we're going to attack. I think I used the wrong token, didn't I? I did. I don't know why I'm missing a blue. There we go. All right, so you moved. She's going to attack. Okay, so for her attack, she attacks with 5 dice, accuracy 7. Okay, so we got 2 natural lanterns and a 5, a 3, and a 6, and she hits on a 7, so that's 2 hits. First hits on the Screaming Antelope. We got Restless Hoof, and these cards are sticking, and Restless Chest. I'll give you, and the picture that shows at the top is the same picture that was on in the art book game manual. Yeah, Kingdom Death. Doing some Kingdom Death this morning. Find some antelopes. So we got 1 that happens when we fail and 1 that we wound. So Restless Hoof looks all sorts of bad. So I'll definitely do that one last. Well, it's only a problem if I miss. If I miss, a lot of bad things happen. Because I'm hitting the hoof and it looks like it's going to kick me in response. Whereas the other one only happens if I wound. And if I wound it, it's then basically going to negate my other possible attack. So it's like, how do I want to gamble here, right? The fact that, and both you gain a resource if you crit. So it's like, goddamn. The fact that I'm a resource whore, I think I'm going to do this one first, because as long as I hit, I won't get a failure condition, and then I can do this one. So we'll do in that order. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so the hit with the guitar, of which we have 2, and full set, and +1 strength token. The strength is a 5, +1 is a 6, and the Antelope's toughness is an 8. So I hit on a 2+. I hit on a 2+, and the other thing I'm definitely using to gauge this fight is to see how powerful of an Antelope I can fight, because I am interested in fighting a level 2 quarries at this point, if 3 out of 4 people can always live, because you do get more resources. So so the fact that I have really outstanding chance to hit means I could do a level 2 as far as me doing damage. As far as me taking hits, that's yet to be seen. But okay, so I hit on a 2+, and I hit on a 2 and I crit on a 6. I really want to crit. So I got a 6, so I did get a critical wound. Fantastic. So that's 1 wound. And let's see what it says. I didn't fail, so I don't have to worry about this. Plus a critical, if you crit it, it cancels the reaction anyway. Gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource, and then other stuff happens. So we gain a Screaming Antelope resource. We got another beefsteak, so that goes on Snahavia. And then Persistent injury, destroyed hoof. The Screaming Antelope's hoof is ruined and affects some AI cards. So basically any cards having to do with possibly running or kicking, we compromised, hopefully. All right, so the next one, again, hit on a 2, crit on a 6. And we rolled a 1. The good thing about rolling a 1 is he only reacts if we wounded. So this, the only way we would have avoided is if we crit or missed. And we missed. So it's not terribly bad. All right. We got a resource out of it. Did a little bit of damage. That's all good. Okay, so next up, even though I really want to do the archer next, well, I guess I could. I just want to do the archer if I can before the other guy, because if I could hit with the claw head arrow, I can make it easier to hit. And I'll try to use the nomenclature correctly. First you hit, and then you try to wound. Use accuracy and evasion to hit, but then use strength and crit when you're trying to wound. So, crit and wound. Whereas in D&D, it's hit and... Well, I mean, D&D, it's also hit and wound. Yeah, and there are also 2 dice rolls. So, that's actually pretty same. They just do it a little bit differently. But both are still gated by 2 phases. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to dash because it's a cumbersome weapon. That way I can use my action and my movement to attack. So we're going to spend 1 to dash. Like so. And then we're going to attack. I'm going to move these tokens away. Then we're going to attack. So bow person spent 1 survival, so now it's at 4. Cap right now for all of them is So, and Elcor didn't gain 1 survival with Monster Controller because even though it would have been the target, the monster didn't pick him as a target and instead grazed. So that's why he did not get a point for that, unfortunately. Okay, so now we're going to attack. So Timothy, who's using the bow. Timothy, his speed is a 2 and accuracy is a 5. But he's going to use the claw head arrow instead, which is 1 time use per showdown, but if I hit, then the monster will get a -1 evasion token, meaning all of us get a bonus to our accuracy of hitting. Okay, so I roll 1 dice, and it hits on a 6+. But my accuracy is +2, so it would actually be a hit on a 4. Roll 1 dice, I hit on a 4+. And I don't have to wound with the clawhead arrow to get the bonus. I just need to hit, just to show, oh, this is how you target. So we got a natural 10, so it was a successful hit. So the monster gets a -1 evasion token, which means the same thing as we get +1 accuracy. So monster gets -1 evasion. And then I can only use it once per showdown, so I'm going to flag that. And now we also did 1 wound. Well, 1 hit. Furry throat. This could be great because you're hitting someone in the throat. This could even be possible instant death. Who knows? This one actually had a bonus if you're using the club hitting someone in the throat, which is good to know because I have a club. All right, so basically it's no reaction. It just, if I crit, that's awesome sauce. So Timothy's luck is a 1 because of Lucky Charm. And strength is a 6 plus 1 is a 7. So actually hit on a 1+. Hit on a 1, crit on a 9. So basically it's a guaranteed hit. It just, do I crit? We rolled a 2, so we didn't, but it is a hit. So we did 1 wound, which is awesome. So 9 hit points left. Awesome. That was definitely worth it. Especially also getting the evasion. And again, evasion doesn't affect me wounding the monster. which you can see I have a pretty good advantage at wounding. It's the ability to use your weapon to aim and shoot correctly. Is what so it basically makes the monster slower, so easier to target. Okay, so then lastly, I'm going to use my spear person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then has range 2. So it doesn't even have to dash. Can move here. And then she's range 2 because she's, he's got a spear. So he will attack. His attack profile is did I not update this? His accuracy is +3, but his weapon should be higher. His weapon's accuracy is, oh, no, that's right. It reduced it to 3. Okay, got it. So Oko rolls 2 dice and he hits on a 3+, but because evasion, he hits on a 2+. So he hits on a 2. So I have to say, with my weapons right now, I could probably fight a more powerful Antelope as far as DPS. And as far as how much damage I would take, we got to start getting hit to gauge that. Because I have 2 people without armor, which is a liability. Okay, so that's 1 miss, 1 hit. I'll just make sure anyone has anything weird. One person says they have to be honorable when they attack the monster. Another person says you have to move every round if possible. And then another one's disorder is if they get hit in the head, they get knocked down. So if he gets hit in the head, he gets knocked down. And if Snahavium ever sees blood, she gets knocked down. And Eltkor always has to move every round regardless, even if I don't want to because he's hyperactive. He always has to move at least 1 square. Okay, so now we're going to wound. I don't think I drew the card yet. No. We got Restless Eye, and it says first strike, meaning if I had multiple cards, I would have to do this one first, regardless. I can't choose. The Screaming Antelope's massive eyes glisten with human-like fear. If the attacker is insane, cancel all hits and end their attack. Otherwise, the attacker suffers 1 brain damage. So, if I'm reading this correctly, if I was not insane, I'd get 1 brain damage and can still attack. But because this says if you are insane, Oko is insane, I cancel all hits and end their attack. So it's like it stares me down. So it's kind of like a trap card half the time. That's not a trap card. Okay, so that was canceled. All right, now it is the monster's turn. Monster. But we did a couple damage, got a resource already, so we're doing good. And we made it weaker. Doing good. The problem here is if it charges forward, it'll knock down 2 people. Is the problem here. I just wanted to get that early damage to try to get some crit stuff in. But we'll see what happens. But, I mean, facing most likely, Oko is going to be the target. We shall see. Okay, we got Showdown. This can't be good. If there are no Acanthus plants on the Showdown board, discard Showdown and perform basic action. Full move the Screaming Antelope to the closest Acanthus plant. Let's say its movement is a 6. And this says that if it... On this, it says you full move, you don't stop at the plant, but you full move toward a plant, and if it ends adjacent to it, it consumes it and heals many hit points. Okay, so it moves to the closest acanthus. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's an equal opportunity both directions. So I can choose. I'll say, oh, you know, it wants to run away. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's full move. It doesn't say if it's straight line, it says full move. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means he'll end here, and he is adjacent. So he's going to turn and consume. This goes away, and now he heals 1d5 hit points. So basically, all the hit points we just did, we now are going to lose because he just ate an acanthus, which is unfortunate. So what that tells me is we got to have our teammates start picking up the acanthus. That way, he can't use it to heal. So we got to have a team split off, fight the monster, and pick the shit up. Okay, so it's going to heal 1d5. So I'm basically going to roll a d10 divided by 2 and round up. So it's a natural 10. So it heals 5 hit points. So so the 2 damage we did, he then... wait, no. Yeah, wait, where is it? The 2 damage we did, it now heals. So these are both discarded, unfortunately. So he healed up. Oh, you move it to the bottom of the AI deck. I thought you moved it to the top of the discard. It moves to the bottom of the AI deck. Okay. And then if you chow down, place chow down on the top of the monster AI deck instead of discarding it. So it goes back. So that's exactly the move it's going to do next turn. It's going to try to eat more acanthus plants, if it's able to. So right now, if that's the case, that every time he successfully chows down, he's going to chow down again. He's going to go chomp, 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 chomp. So we need to beat him to the punch and start picking up stuff, looks like. All right, so it's our turn. So I think that's what we're going to have to do, unless we get in some... Because, like, right now, if I'm trying to get in shots, it's just going to chow down. Oh, you just... But if there's no acanthus plants, then you discard this and do basic actions. He's going to keep eating right now until there's nothing to eat. So we might as well just move and pick up stuff. So this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Actually, that's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to have Eltcore, because he has Rawhide set complete. He has a chance to regenerate his survival 50% of the time. So he's going to do a move, and then a dash, and then pick this up, since he could possibly regenerate his survival. So we're going to go... Of course, maybe I should worry about that later. It's more like he can race and beat him to the punch. That's true. I will get greedy. All right. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go... We're going to have her move here and pick up the plant. So now we're going to roll for the plant. We roll a d10. Where are the actions? Where are the action? We rolled a 10, so we get a fresh acanthus. Super fresh. Fresh acanthus, super fresh. Okay, so the acanthus, I believe, is a special resource. Got that so fresh acanthus. Which is awesome because you could use this while in the same showdown to fully heal one part of your body, personal damage, and armor. So it's actually really good situationally in combat too. But the dried one that you can make after the fact is also good, but that's pretty saucy. I might as well keep this over here because we'll probably see it again. All right, so that was her move and her action. All right, next up we'll do Eltcore, who can move far. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and pick this one up to beat him to the punch. So you can't eat that one either. And then we're going to spend a survival and then roll to see if I get that survival back. So go ahead and roll. We got a 2, so I don't get it back. So we spent 1 survival with Eltcore, who's now at 4. And remember, the +1 tokens can also be spent as survival, so I do have area to spend. Okay, so I don't think I've rolled yet for it. We rolled a 9, which is, we get another fresh acanthus. Super fresh acanthus. Right. So he's collected all sorts of stuff. So far, we actually have 6 resources from this hunt and showdown combined, actually. As a recap, Eltcore has a fresh acanthus, a pelt, a beefsteak, and a hissing cockroach. And then Snahavium has a fresh acanthus and a beefsteak. So you see, we already got 6 resources. We still haven't even killed the monster yet, which is awesome. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it well. All right. So that's his move in action. Next up, we got these 2. I think these 2 will pursue. Go ahead and pursue the monster, and these 2 will clean up because this guy can go here, and he can go here, and it's gonna probably go there and loot. So that's what we're gonna do. And I kind of want to be at 2 ends of the board attacking. That way, in case he rushes and rams, there's people over there that can intercept. Is what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll stick by the pillar. And then Spear Dude can move 6. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then since I'm at range 2, I could try to get in a hit. And you're thinking, why would I try to do that? Because the off chance that I can get a crit, I can then cause the monster to possibly get a disability or give us more loot. That's why. So we're going to attack with the, that was his full move, and then we're going to attack with the spear, which is speed 2, accuracy 2. So I hit on a 2+. That's a 1 and a 10. That's 1 hit. We got gnarled horns. Something happens if I fail. The crit, I have to roll a 10. And the hit, it's a 4+. 4 to hit and 10 to crit. We rolled a 5, so that is a hit, so we got 1 wound, which is cool. But no crit, and this only happened if you fail. But see, if we crit, we would have got a resource, so that's why I attempted. All right, so that's it for us. Everybody moved. Now I'm going to just take a 10-second break and get another sip of coffee while we assess the situation. Okay, so it's the monster's move. The monster is going to do... Actually, no, we wound. We wound the monster. So that means the one we got rid of was Showdown, actually. We stopped it. Actually, I forgot about that. It was on top. So this next one's not going to be Showdown unless there's 2 in the deck, which is possible. Yeah, we got rid of it. Awesome. But I still think I'll have the team clean up. I think these 2 will hit, and we'll pick up the limit options. Okay, so it's going to bite. So it's going to the closest survivor in field of view. Field of view. facing would be in front. Field of view is anywhere other than blind spot or behind line of sight. So field of view would still be all forward. Close in field of view would be Oko. So it's going to turn and move forward 1. All right, so its attack profile is speed 1, and it hits on a 2+. Oko has no evasion, so it's going to hit on 2+. So it is a 6. That is a hit. It's going to hit on the foot. Oko gets 1 to foot, so he gets light damage to foot. Okay. And then after damage, also gets a bleed token. And Oko, though, does have unconscious fighter, so he needs 7 bleeds to die from it. So nothing I have to immediately worry about. And that's the monster's turn. It's actually good that we got rid of Showdown. So that was good. I mean, I don't know. It was a good attempt regardless. Okay, so now it's us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I want to pick up this crap while I have the opportunity to limit options. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and dash, I can steal this one. And I'm going to roll to potentially get that dash back. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we're going to dash. Pick this up. We're going to roll to see if we were able to dash for free. We were at the 6+, so that cost me no survival. Now I'll roll for the Acanthus, which is a 6+, which I don't think we get a plant, but instead find something tasty and consume it. If you do, gain +1 survival. Interesting. Find something tasty and consume it. Okay. So it's using it highlights the word consume because there's certain things that happen if you consume, but in this case, there's nothing affecting the consume modifier. So I gained 1 survival because I ate something, so that which is good because he was at 4, so now goes to 5, which is great. Goes from 4 to 5. All right. And we're also limiting options. Plus, he's also now in range to engage also. So her, since I'm close, I want to go ahead and try to pick this up. So we're going to move here and take this. And what I can also do is I can move, do an action, and then I can also dash as survival, which I may do also, just to get closer. Okay, so for the bug patch, roll D10. It's a 9. On a 4+, gain 1 random vermin resource. So we get so we're getting more resources, which is good because you see there's a lot of ways you could just lose resources. Also, that way if you have to lose resource, you could get rid of crap instead of valuable stuff like organ, hide, or bone. Okay, so I get a vermin. We got a Cyclops fly. I cannot say that I've seen this one before, and I'll show you to you. It's a fly that has 1 gigantic eye. So it's a Cyclops fly, and it has the option that you could consume it. Basically, if you roll decent, you can get +1 accuracy. If you roll bad, you instantly die. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, so she's also got a bug. Alright, so that's her turn. So we got 2 people left. Oh, that's right. She could also dash. Am I going to have her dash? If I have her dash, she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just don't know if I want to spend more survival just to get her closer faster. I mean, she does. Well, but she's a good tank. She got a lot of damage. Shit. Of course, the best tank is actually these two. Yeah, so we gotta get in there. We gotta save these guys. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll spend a survival. So and who is that? Snahavia. So now she's at 3. I'm really glad I learned Dash. That was like the first thing I innovated after language. That was super helpful. And I don't believe I had that last campaign. I believe last campaign, toward the end, we got Surge, I believe. Which you have a bonus action you can take. Which is awesome. That means you can do additional attacks, which is cool. Okay, so now I got these two left. So who's the better tank? Who do I want to take damage out of those two? So they both can get pounded pretty good. But I think if I antagonize the monster, I want to have it run to the corner. That way it's limited options, if possible. So let me move these tokens out of the way. I got so many tokens. I just didn't expect the combat to go in this direction. Okay, so I think I want to try to lead it in the corner. Meaning, well, shit. I can have this one attack from the side and this one dash and then attack. That way, I'm kind of antagonizing it to come to the corner of the board. So I'll go this way first. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's range 2. We'll do that. We'll attack. Do a little bit of pokey. This way, if he looks at facing before field of view, possibly he'll run this way. I may want it to run that way, so I may want to shoot from far. That way, I'm not the priority target potentially. That way it goes up. That's way people can encircle, as they do. Okay, anyway, so we roll 2 dice, and we would hit on a 3, but because of the evasion, we hit on a 2. So 2 dice at 2. We got 4 and 8, 2 hits. So we got the Restless Tiny Hands and Pallet. Both have something that happens if I fail. So the Pallet has the worst one, but all of them have great stuff if I crit. So I'll do the Pallet last. Okay, so now to wound with Oko. Strength is a 3 plus 1 is a 4, so I hit on a 4 and I crit on a 10. That's a miss, unfortunately, and that's a failure reaction. Grasping tiny hands make rude gestures at you, probably flipping me off. Tiny hands like coming from its mouth and its belly. Startled, you gain +1 insanity and lose your composure. And then there's more stuff that happens. So I gain 1 insanity first of all, so I go from 7 to 8. And then spend an action to regain your senses before you can attack again, which means that cancels the rest of my attack profile. So I'll put this on my character here to show that I need to spend something to attack. Okay. At least there's no counterattack, but that canceled the rest of the attack profile. Okay. So he's got to spend an action to be able to attack again. So you basically have like one wasted turn. He has to spend another action to do that. So like if you had Surge, you could use a Surge to get rid of that effect, and then you can attack. Okay, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That way, if it goes to the closest facing, it'll be him. And then we'll do that as a dash. That way we can then attack because it's a cumbersome weapon. So Timothy's survival is now A3. Timothy. Okay, and then we're going to attack with our weapon, which we've already used a claw, so now I have to use my primary weapon. But my primary weapon, I can reduce my speed by 1 to give it a higher chance to hit, but I think I may be okay on hitting, because my accuracy is a 5. And then with the bonus, it's a 4. So I'm going to roll 2 and I hit on a 4. 8 and a 3, so we got 1 hit. Restless Shank. Something happens if I get wounded. If I wound it, I should say. So it hits. Its strength is a 3 plus 1 is 4, so I hit on a 4 plus. I got an 8. My luck is a 1, but that means it's a 9, so I just wounded it. So it's 1 wound. So we've done 2 damage, and then he reacts because I wounded. Roll 1d10 for each survivor currently in the monster's blind spot. So basically it's rearing its back legs. No one's in its blind spot, so I don't have to do that. Okay. Basically I shot it in the butt. It's reacting by getting shot in the butt. Okay, so I think that's everyone's turn. He's still got that effect. I have to spend something. Okay. Now so we've done 2 damage. We would have done 4, but remember it healed. At least now if it tries to graze, it's too far away to eat that. With the idea that I'm either going to keep it far away or eat it, or go up back and get it later. Though I limit options of the monster. Okay, this one is Ravenous. It's an A level card. This could be bad. Pick target. The closest survivor with consumable gear in range. Okay, does anyone have consumable gear? So it should say consumable on it. I do. I have 2 people with dried acanthus. So this is kind of cool thematically. Since there's no fresh acanthus to eat, he's like, hey, I smell some plants. Who has it? So let me see if the other 2 people also have consumable gear. No? Well, actually, so does Elkor, because he's got Frenzy Drink and Monster Grease. So, everyone other than Snahavium has consumable gear. So these 3. So it goes to the closest survivor with consumable gear. So that would be Oko, because he's got dried acanthus. That's in range. So we're moving this direction, which is great because that's what I wanted the monster to do. Okay, so it's got something that happens after damage, which is bad. It's trying to eat what's on the person. All right, so it rolls 1 dice. His accuracy is 2+. Oko's has no evasion, so it hits on a 2+. It's a 1. That is a miss completely. It smelt it, but it couldn't dealt it. Great. So that's back to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dash, and then I could pounce and then attack. Oh no, he doesn't have pounce anymore. That's right. Haha, that's right. The person with pounce is the kitty person. So she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pounce 3, and attack. But she's honorable and can't attack from behind, so she'll have to attack from the side. But she could do that. She could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pounce 5, and then pounce 3 to attack from here. So she'll do that. She'll move here with a dash, and then do a pounce action to go here and get the bonuses associated with it. And you know what? I forgot that when Oko bled, somebody was knocked down. I forgot. Somebody... Oh, I don't think I took that person with me. I had a person that if they saw blood, they'd get her knocked down. Okay, good. All right, so she spent a survival to do that, so now she's at 2. I got to stop spending survival on her. I just wanted to, get in there. And now she can attack. So because she did pounce, she gets the pounce bonus also of an additional accuracy. No. Wait. She gets +1 strength and, +1 accuracy. Okay. So to hit, she's rolling 5 dice. She's rolling 5 dice, and her accuracy is a 7. +1 because of the pounce, and then -1 because of the pounce, and then -1 because of the evasion. So she hits on a 5. 5 dice. 5 dice hit on 5. Yep. So we got 3 hits. So we got delicate and inverted knee, ferocious spasm, and giant teeth. And she has a good chance to crit, so this is great. So I'm going to do the reflex last because that happens regardless, and anyone in the zone of death, something bad happens. So we'll do it in this order. Alright, so to wound, her strength is a 5, but then she gets +1 because of the token, and then +1 because of the pounce, if I recall. So her strength is a 7, so I hit on a 1, so it's a guaranteed hit, regardless of what I roll. And then the speed, the luck is a 4, so basically it's a guaranteed, all of these are guaranteed hits. But I'm rolling to see if I crit. So I crit on a 6. So this first one, I rolled a natural 10, so that's a critical wound. So that's 1 damage. And then critical wound, persistent injury, crushed knee. The screaming antelope's balance is ruined. When the monster starts its movement, roll a d10. On a result of 1, the screaming antelope is knocked down. So that's persistent. Okay. Next, we'll do the super dense. Super dense just means that you can still hit it, but if you hit it with a frail weapon, it's going to break. Whereas something goes impervious means you can't do damage, you can't wound at all, but you could potentially still do a critical effect if it had an effect that happens if you critically hit. So this is just super dense. That's something that happens if I crit, and I crit on a 6. I rolled a 9, so that's a crit. On the giant teeth, gain 1 screaming antelope resource. Awesome. So I got a pelt, which is great. And then the last one has reflex that happens regardless. And it's not a place I can crit. So because of that, I can't do a critical effect. Meaning I can't use luck to supersede the toughness of the animal. But because my strength is so high, it's going to be a hit regardless. But I'll just roll. So it's 2, so that is a wound. So he's taking 4 damage. And then there's a reflex. The screaming antelope frantically attacks everything around it anything in the zone of death, anybody adjacent to it, which are these two. One at a time, target each survivor in the zone of death and perform a basic action. So because they're in range, most likely it's going to do its attack, rep, which is speed 2, but only does 1 damage, but attacks twice. So he's going to attack the person that was doing the damage first. So that's a 2 and a 10. So it's a miss and a hit. And that's going to hit the head. So I'll do 1 damage to Snahavium's head, which she has 3 armor, so she's good. Next, we're going to roll for Oko. That's a 5 and an 8, so that's 2 hits. Chest and the waist, which is great because that's exactly where he has armor. Waist goes to 0, and chest goes to 2. All right. And that was just her attack. So now I have 3 people left that can do stuff. Okay. I don't want to burn all of this guy's survival, so I think I'm going to spend 1 strength token. And Oko should have gotten this because this should have rotated. So he should have, his insanity should actually be a 9. Because he was targeted. I'm gonna spend 1 strength token from Timothy to use that for in place of survival and move to here, and then attack with the bow. So his attack is 2 dice, hits on a 4. That's 6 and a 7, so that's 2 hits. We got Restless Inner Thigh and Furry Tail. So I'm going to do Furry Tail first just because that has a crit effect. I mean, they both do, but it can give you a resource. Alright, so Timothy wounds on a... Strength is 3. He doesn't get does not get the +1 anymore because I just used it. But his survival... Oh, I thought his survival was a 2. No. I thought his survival was a 2. Now it's a 2. I'll keep the +1 strength. I thought I was at 2. No. We'll keep it. Okay, so strength is a 4. So I hit on a 4+. Hit on a 4, crit on a 9. We got a 2, so that's a total miss. Nothing happens. Hit on 4, crit on 9. Total miss. Okay. Now I have 2 people left. He's out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a cumbersome weapon, so there's really nothing I can do. So I think instead I'm going to spend an action to look at the AI cards. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to move to here. And then for the action, we're going to use the Rawhide Headband to look at the top 2 AI cards, and I can determine the order. All right, so we got Back Kick and Bolt. So I either want him, do I want it to go to the farthest target or the closest target? If I have go to the farthest target, it would then be in range. but then I'll run away. Bolt me, it run away. Back kick. No, I'll do back kick at the top. Okay, so that's good. So basically, since no one can wound, I determined what the monster's next action is going to be. It's going to try to kick one of these people because it's so close to us. So I think I want to have Snahavium take the blows, though. So I'm going to spend an action to remove this so it can attack. And then for its movement, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. This way, the closest threat that's in field of view would be Snahavium. That's the idea. All right, so that's it for us. Now it's the monster's turn, which I know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be back kick. The target that's in its blind spot, which is nobody, or the closest threat in range. The only way you're not a threat is if you used your monster grease, or you're out of line of sight, or you're in the blind spot. So the closest threat in range then is going to be Snahavium. So I'll turn. And then turn monsters, the target is in a blind spot. So it's going to actually turn like this. It's going to do the opposite. And then it's speed 1, accuracy 3+, damage 3. But because it's only speed 1, I could also spend a survival to miss it also. So its accuracy is a 3+, but she's got evasion. Her evasion is a 2, so that means he hits on a 5+. That's a 6, so it is a hit. And it's going to do 3 damage to the hand. Do I want to do 3 damage to the hand? 3 damage to the hand. Yeah, because she's armored. So the hand will go to 0. That's fine. Okay. Cool, so now it's our turn. So the monster has still a lot of hit points left. Still has 7 hit points left. So we gotta really do damage while we can. The other problem is, since we're getting so low in the hit deck, it may eventually do a trap card also. That's the other thing to keep in mind, because we haven't ran into a trap card yet. And Snahavium cannot attack from the blind spot, but I want her to attack first if possible. Because she does have, actually no she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Okay, I'm going to have Snahavium. She can't attack from the blind spot because she's honorable, so she's going to go to the side here and attack. Okay. She rolls 5 dice. And her accuracy... She's not pouncing. But I could have her run backwards and pounce forward. I could do that. She was here. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 as a burn a strength token and then pounce. I'll do that. I'll spend a strength token to dash to here, then I'll pounce to here. So now we're pouncing instead. So we roll 5 dice. And accuracy is +1/+1. So 5 dice hit on a 5. We got 4 hits. Restless Rump, Restless Ear, Restless Shoulder, and Giant Tongue. Wow, that's really lucky we didn't get a trap card. Really lucky. Okay, so I definitely want to do all the ones that say scream that have critical. They all have critical wounds. I definitely want the resources though. So I definitely want to do the ear first because it doesn't have anything bad. I don't want it to run away, so I'll do that one last. Tongue second, shoulder third. Okay? So the wound, the profile is a 5, but I don't get a +1 strength because I use that. But I did pounce, so I hit. My strength then is a 6, so I hit on a 2, and I crit on a 6. I rolled a 2, so it is a hit. And there's no reaction. Hit on 2, crit on 6. Rolled a 7, so that's a critical hit. It has reaction when it wounds, but it doesn't say that it cancels the reaction. I'll check that to see if you critical wound, if that always cancels the reaction or not. I'll check that. In any case, we do wound. Make sure I didn't do this incorrectly. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it had 4, now it has 6. Okay. And then we gain a Screaming Antelope resource, so we get a Shank Bone. And then let me see if a crit always cancels the top, or does it have to say? That's what I'm gonna check. When a critical wound happens, all reactions on the hit card are immediately canceled. Okay, great. That was correct. Right, so that goes away. And the last one, hit on 2, crit on a 6. It's an 8, so that's a critical hit. So we do another wound. So I shuffle the AI deck, and then we get another wound. And then we get 1 Screaming Antelope resource. Which is a Spiral Horn. That's a rare one, so that's good. Let me see how much damage we've done. I want to make sure I didn't pick up the wrong ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we did 3 damage. Okay, so we haven't done this one yet. And then on this last one, hit on 2, crit on 6. It's a 2, so it's a hit. So we do 1 damage, but we don't get the crit. And then it has a reflex. So he's got 3 hit points left, and we've got a ton of resources off this guy. Reflex. Turn the monster to face away from the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. So fortunately, he's not in its path. So he's going to turn away, or she, and then full move forward. Its movement is a 6, but whenever it moves, it rolls to see if it stumbles first because of the delicate inverted knee that was crushed. So we roll first. It's a 9, so it succeeds. So then it moves forward 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Full move. If anyone was in his path, it would have trampled. Okay. Cancel all hits now out of range. Blah. Whatever. Okay, so now we can move. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I can go move 1, 2, 3, spend a survival to shoot. I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm a little too far away to hit with my weapon, unless I dashed, which I could do. He's still got 5 survival, so I think I'm going to dash with Oko first and get in range, so I can spend 1 survival. Just because he hasn't spent any yet, so he's got 1 to play with. Go to 4. He's going to attack. Of course, if I'm getting that close, I might as well get in the blind spot so it's easier to hit. I mean, there's really no reason not to. Might as well. Unless I want to get in blind spot with this guy. No, Oko's weapon is already really easy to hit. Its accuracy is a 3, which would make it a 2, so I'll stick with it. So roll 2 dice. Accuracy is a 2. 6 and a 7, so that's 2 hits. We got Giant Mouth and Restless Muzzle. Giant Mouth just sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. So we're going to do that one last because it sounds terrible. So I hit it in the muzzle and its giant mouth and its belly. Okay. So to wound, Oko strength is a 3 plus 1 is a 4, so I hit on a 4 plus. Hit on a 4, crit on a 10. It's a 3, so that's a miss. And the next one, the reflex happens regardless. It's very dangerous, so I definitely need crit if possible, which is a 4 or a 10. We rolled a 6, so we got a hit. We did a wound, which is good, but then it's going to reflex, which could be bad. If attacking with a melee weapon and the wound result was a 1 or a 2, it wasn't, the wound result was a 6, then it would do stuff, and I didn't crit, so we're fine. Basically, if I rolled bad, it would eat my weapon. It gets stuck in its mouth. Okay, so we did some attacks, that's good. So he's got only 2 hit points left, so we could totally end this fight, if possible. I know I didn't pick up these resources far away. I mean, we got a bunch of stuff. I just don't want to drag out the fight. We've already got a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff, actually. Okay, so let's spend a survival to get in the monster's blind spot. And we're spending survival. We'll see if we got spent it for free. We did, because it rolled 9. Awesome. So then we attack. And the reason we get the freebie is because the rawhide set. Whenever I spend a survival, if I roll a 6 plus on a d10, then it's free. So now we're going to attack. Finally with, oh, I didn't flag who dealt damage. Oh, fuck, all right. I already forgot. My bad. Shit. Who dealt damage? Snahavium dealt damage. Oko dealt damage. Timothy, I know, dealt damage because he clawed arrow, so 3 out of 4 dealt damage already. So Elcor needs to do damage in order to gain a proficiency. Okay. Alright, so his attack profile is he rolls 4 dice, and accuracy is a 6, but I'm in the blind spot, so it's a 5, and then its evasion's -1, so it's a 4. So 4 dice, hit on 4. So we got 4 hits. So unless it's a trap card, there's only 3 locations here. Yeah, one of them's a trap. And I'll just pick a card in here at random to be the other card, and then I can shuffle. So it doesn't matter. We got a bunch of stuff. Doesn't matter. Trap cancels everything. Wailing Slide. The screaming antelope panics. Its undermouth unleashing an inhuman wail. It bucks wildly and leaps into the air. So it's like, I mean, the monster's almost dead, so now it's freaking out. Plus, it's probably also freaking out because I hit it in its mouth. It's like, what? So the attacker is doomed, meaning can't spend survival. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 2 brain damage. So that's only 1. So Snahavium takes 2 brain damage. So so his insanity, he had 1, so that goes to 0, and then he has light damage to his brain. Okay. And then knock back 5 and knock down. Knock back 5. But it collides. But he can't go back 5 because the other character's in the way. So he's only knocked back to here, but he's then knocked down. And I'm going to say, since it was knocked down, it probably knocks down the other person too. We'll play that way. The monster lands on its belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Whoa. I'll show you the card. It's basically just a black and white version of that page, but so think about it. It jumped straight in the air and screamed, landed on its belly with its teeth, and now it's running away by sliding on its belly, so its teeth are moving instead of its body. The monster's laying on its belly with its mouth, and its mouth is moving across the ground. The monster lands on its belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Turn the monster directly away from the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. On collision, non-death survivors gain 1 random disorder in addition to normal collision rules. Okay, so then I shuffle this deck. So it looks like there's only 1 trap for the Antelope in its hit deck, which is interesting. That's good to know. That means it's very unlikely for it to counterattack. Whereas when you do a Nemesis Encounter, it's highly likely. That's good to know. But you shuffle the deck after the trap happens, so it's possible you can get the trap again. So it wouldn't necessarily be like at the bottom of the deck or something. Okay. So that was his turn, but he's knocked down. She's knocked down. The only person that can now take a turn is the bow and arrow dude, who doesn't have great survival and armor and stuff, so I think I'm just going to keep him hidden. Or at least out of line of sight. So I think I'll start moving in the back row. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, that would still be line of sight. 1. Of course, he could also move 6 away. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No, it's out of range shooting. But yeah, out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do that. I'll move to here. And since I can't do a weapon, as an action, I'm going to use the Cat Eye Circlet and look at the top 3 monster hit locations and put them back in any order. So this way, if there was a trap, I could potentially avoid what comes up when. I can put them back in any order. So I got Giant Tongue, Inner Thigh, and Restless Muzzle. I'm going to put this in front because I want to get more resources. This one has something bad happens if you wound. Actually, that's a good thing. I'll do it in this order. Okay. Cool. So that's it for us. Now it's the monster's turn. Knockdown doesn't go away till the end of the monster's turn, so they'll stay. So if he targets or goes after anyone that's knocked down, they'll both be valid targets. Actually, he'll get trampled if going after that person. So he only has 2 hit points left, though. He only has 1 AI card. So he'll do the same action every time. kick, back kick. In blind spot, in range, nope. Closest threat, in range, which is nobody. No target, graze. So he's going to graze. So he's going to graze. Graze. Full move to the closest acanthus plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's trying to heal. So this is bad. He's trying to heal. So I need to get within range. That way he doesn't heal. Okay, so that's his move. Now it's back to us. So these two have to at least get in range to stop it from going after the plant. Okay. But since I only have to do 2 damage, I could also have people move and dash. So people could move like 10 spaces I could do. So like I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And try to pick this up. And spend a dash. Spend survival, I mean. So I'll use a strength token. Okay. Actually, the person I want to hit is Eldcore also. That's the person who needs to hit, but I think he's too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's too far away. But at least he can get close enough so he's the target. So we'll at least do that. And then he... Well, no, that was a move. He could then spend a survival to get even closer. That's true. That was a move. Then I could spend a survival. And then I could look at the AI cards, which is pointless because I know what it is. Okay, so I'll move to get in front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then a roll to see if the survival was free. It's a 1, so it's not, so it costs 1. So I'll spend a survival because he hasn't spent any yet. Or at least he kept getting it back. So he goes from 5 to 4. Alright, then next up, I've been forgetting to track this, so I'll just say, next I'll go to Timothy, sure. A lot of stuff to track, and the thing I always forget is the monster controller. I gotta remember, whenever it's the beginning monster's turn, just to move this around. Okay, this guy could possibly be in range, because he can attack from afar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd have to spend a survival to get in range. So we're going to do that. We're going to spend a survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll get it from the back, in the butt. So I'm in the blind spot. We're spend a survival. So we'll go from 4 to 3. He rolls 2 dice. Accuracy is a 3. Plus 1 for evasion, plus 1 because in the blind spot, so he hits on a 1, so it's 2 guaranteed hits. That's 2 hits. So we got a giant tongue and a restless inner thigh, which we knew exactly what those were going to be. His luck is a 0, so he just adds to strength. So if he kills the monster, he's not going to get a proficiency bonus. But if he crits, I could get a resource, especially if it's on the first one. So because it's only got 2 hit points left. So we'll see what happens. So Oko hits on a 4, so it's a 4 to hit and 10 to crit. That's a 9, so it's just a hit. So he's got no AI cards left. But there's a reaction when it wounds. Blood and spittle erupt from the screaming antelope's wounded undermaw. If the wound result is even, suffer 1 brain damage. If the wound result is odd, gain 1 insanity. It was odd. It's a 9. So he gains 1 insanity, so it goes from 9 to 10. And then if this is a See if this could kill it. It's a 6, so the monster dies. I wonder if I should have deliberately not attacked. I was just afraid that he was just going to keep running away. Because I could have wasted a turn to pick this up. But that's okay. That's right. That's all right. That's right. That's right. It's just, man, if he just had one more proficiency, he didn't be a specialist with the club. So unfortunately, didn't level up. It was just always too far away. So anyway, that was a hit. So we killed it. Yay, we got it. So Screaming Antelope is dead. What does that mean? Let's see what that means. So now we're going to the rewards section of the Showdown, the Aftermath. Yeah, in hindsight, maybe I should have deliberately not attacked because I knew what the monster was going to do. It was going to attack this person. It could survive. Then I could have picked this up, and then he could have gotten another proficiency, but that's all right. Like I said, I was worried. I mean, I should say I was worried about him running around because I knew exactly what he was going to do because he had no AI cards left, so whatever. It be what it be. We got a lot of goodies out of it. We got a lot of goodies. Plus, I could always, not know how to fight the antelope. I keep finding the antelope, so there you go. Okay. So, Aftermath. Everyone gets 1 weapon proficiency level and hunt experience, and then rewards. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so everybody gets 1 hunt experience, gets level 1. So Oko goes to 3. Snahavium goes to 5, almost at age 2. Elkor goes to 5, almost at age 2. And Timothy goes to 1, almost at age 1. By almost, I mean 1 away. So everyone got hunt experience. Now everyone gets weapon proficiency or weapon proficiency bonus. So Oko used his spear, so he gets 1 proficiency. Snahavium gets 1 proficiency, so is now a specialist. So gets the specialization with the guitar. So now have a specialist with the guitar and white lion armor. Elkor gets did not hit, so does not gain a proficiency. Timothy would gain a proficiency if was at hunt experience 2, but he's not. So the only 2 that gained proficiency levels were the spear and the guitar. All right, cool. So we got proficiency using weapons. We got hunt experience. Now we do, what do we get for looting the body? So for the body, the first thing it says, when the monster is defeated, any survivors with 20 plus insanity are driven mad by the monster's death wail, and they vanish, screaming into darkness, never to be seen again. No one is at 20 insanity, but 1 person at 11 and 1 person at 10. Okay, so we get 4 basic and 4 screaming antelope. Okay, so for the screaming, I got it visited by a giddy. We get screaming brain, bladder, shank bone, large flat tooth. It's interesting that I didn't get many pelts. They must all be at the bottom of this deck. So I got those 4, and I'll show you all the stuff here after I unveil it. Up close to the camera so you can see. Yeah, in hindsight, I really should have given him the club, but that's okay, it's okay, he'll get it next time. But that was kind of stupid, because I knew exactly what the monster couldn't do. I had him in a great situation. I could have looted this, potentially, the ore, and given him an experience, and maybe even pick up the other acanthus. Whatever, anyway. It's all good, it's all good. Alright, so then we get 4 basic resources also. We got a monster bone, broken lantern, monster organ. A broken lantern, the idea there is You know, maybe it was in like the monster's body. Maybe it ate the previous survivor. And monster bone. So we did come out like a champ as far as gaining resources. So I'll show you the entire loot that we got, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, this is honestly the most loot I've gotten in one lantern year ever. So, tons of stuff. I don't even know what the final count is. Let me see here. Okay, so in total, this lantern year, we got 18 resources. And notice from looting the body, you only get 8 total. So we got 10 resources from the hunt and just by carving the monster. Crazy. 18. Which includes special resources and vermin and monster resources and antelope resources. Alright, so let's see if I can show some order to the madness. And then that'll be the end of the stream. Just showing you all the goodies that we got. Okay. So let me see if I can bring some order to the madness. And I'm trying to organize it by bones, organs, hides, and then stuff in particular I would need for making stuff. I was hoping this would give me a free stone circle, but it doesn't. Looks like I have to spend stuff to craft it. But which, you know, maybe now I have stuff to make it, but I was hoping I would get it for free, which I didn't. So we got, okay. So we got a scrap. We got another bone. We got another organ. Three organs. It could be a couple of these things use for particular things. I just don't know yet. Like maybe the screaming brain and bladder used for a particular item at the stone circle or somewhere else. The large flat tooth says when you gain this, a survivor of choice gains 1 insanity. So I want to give it to somebody that's low. So I'll give it to Elcor, who's at 0 insanity. So I'll give him 1. There you go. Spiral horn, that sounds very rare. So if we hold that, so we got a lot of bones. We finally got a pelt. And we got a fly. We got a vermin. That's a scrap. This is an herb. We got a lot of organs. We're actually low on hides. Oh, actually, I did get 2 pelts. Great. So that's good. We got a lot of organs. Couple herbs. Couple vermin. Okay, so this is our total loot. So our total loot from this lantern year, we got 5 bones, 5 organs, 2 hides, 2 herbs, 2 vermin, and 1 scrap. And now I'll show you pictures of all this stuff. All right, 18 resources. I'm just like, oh man, I could have gamed the system, but because like I knew it would attack and it'd be weak, and this guy's the perfect tank because he's got regenerating survival, a lot of armor. That I could have looted this, could have made sure, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, east, woulda. I got a lot of stuff a lot of resources that maybe I shouldn't have gotten, but I just got lucky. So there you go. Cool. So I'll show you all the pretties. Spiral horn. Moans balefully when blown. Yuck, yuck. Large flat tooth. Shank bone. Couple of those. Monster bone. Couple of those. Bladder, smells like urine. No shit. Well, actually, no shit. It's pee. Screaming Brain. Beefsteak. Couple of those. Monster Organ. Couple pelts. Very coarse and worn. Fresh Acanthus. Couple of those. Hissing Cockroach. The person that had it was not insane, so I didn't have to eat it. Cyclops Fly. If you eat it, stuff could happen, but I don't know what. Broken Lantern. Cool. That's our loots. So next settlement phase is going to be the start of Lantern Year 7. We'll see what that entails. I believe there is a milestone story event. There's going to be a settlement event. I'm going to have to think about before then the type of stuff I may want to do with Endeavor or with my resources. To see, hey, like, do I want to go ahead and get a stone circle? I'm obviously going to innovate, but like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? What are armor options? So I'll think about it. I'll come up with some sort of plan before next video, but probably brainstorm during then as well. So you can, and if you're online watching this during the Twitch, you can also chime in to see what you think I should do. Well, thanks for watching. It was an exciting fight because it's my first time fighting the Screaming Antelope in a very long time, since the first time I did this campaign. So it was fun. I think half of my team is ready to fight a level 2, but the other half isn't. I definitely have enough damage to do so. But I need people with more armor so they can actually sustain a blow or two. My opinion. Only because when you dodge, you can only stop one attack. You can only stop one attack roll. You don't stop the entire attack, right? So if he's going to get a bonus to attack, that's going to still hurt. Cool, we got a lot of goodies. Had an awesome battle against the Screaming Antelope. That's definitely where we're going to continue the farm for now, to see what cool gear and weapons we can make from his stuff. Well, thanks for watching. The next stream will just be the settlement phase, not including the Departing Survivor section. So tune in for what I spend my awesome loots on and some awesome story events. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Ismortah, and I'll catch you next time.